Yo, what's good, duelists? We have some new cards remastered out of the old Yu-Gi-Oh that we know and love, so let's get into it. So we have the new set, Infinite Forbidden, the Millennium theme. Some of these cards I literally don't remember. Some of these cards I remember so vividly, like Millennium Shield. It's just iconic from my childhood, but like Millennium Golem, I do not remember that card, or Maiden of the Moonlight. These cards look pretty sick. I actually really like this one, how this one looks. And then they've pretty much all gotten remastered into effect monsters. So let's get into it first. So the first card we'll be going over is a fusion that requires 5 forbidden monsters. Why this is kind of cool is because they're actually unlimited over here. Unless they recently got limited, I'm pretty sure all of the forbidden ones are unlimited, so there's actually a reason for them to be so. Because, you know, you can just use 3 right arms and 2 left arms, so that's kind of cool. It's a level 10 fusion. It can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Once per turn, if it battles, it gains attack equal to your life points, so he can basically gain 8,000 attack at the start of the duel. Once per turn, when a spell, trap, card, or effect is activated, negate the activation. Little negate, pretty good in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Once per turn during your end phase, you can set one Exodia, spell, trap, or obliterate deck directly from your deck. Obliterate with 3 exclamation points. And then once per turn during your standby phase, you lose 1,000 life points, so then he goes to 7,000. It's pretty cool that he's actually just during the damage step, but I mean level 10 Dark Spellcaster Fusion. This card is just crazy to me. And some of these cards are actually pretty good, so it's not like they're just unplayable or anything. Then the caveman that awoke after a millennium. It has been a long time. I saw a video where people were trying to play old ass Yu-Gi-Oh from 1999. It is just impossible. It's so easy, especially compared. I feel like the game's just grown with its audience, because now everyone's an adult, 25 to 35, you know. So they had to make it way more complex. If this card is in your hand, you can place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. So this is something some of them will have in common. If this card is a continuous spell, you can pay 2,000 life points and reveal 1 Millennium Cross in your hand, special summon this card. Then you can add 1 Millennium Monster or 1 Senjin from your deck to your hand. I like how it's a G and a J, and I just pronounced these 2 words the same. Also cannot be destroyed by monster effects. This is a pretty good card. It just depends how good the other cards are, like the Millennium Cross or the Obliterate or the Senjin. Unless they're just adding the old ones, basically. You can only use each effect once per turn. If this card is in your hand, you can place it face up in your spell trap zone as a continuous spell. So more continuous spells. And then something is the same again. If this card is a continuous spell, you can pay 2,000 life points and reveal 1 Millennium Cross in your hand. Special summon this card. Then you can add 1 Temple of the Stone Slabs from your deck to your hand. The activation of your Millennium Cross cannot be negated. I can't wait to see Millennium Cross. And then Shield of the Millennium Dynasty. Same effect. If this card is a continuous spell, pay 2,000, reveal Millennium Cross, special summon it, add 1 Millennium Cross from your deck to your hand. Oh, so this is actually the rota for the Millennium Cross. It can't be destroyed by spell and trap effects, and it's a 3k defense. Can still be targeted though, of course. And then we have some more cards over here. Millennium Moon Maiden. Millennium Moon Maiden. Okay. Same effect for the first effect. If your opponent activates a card or effect, so this one's different. While this card is a continuous spell, you can special summon this card, and if you do, your opponent cannot target level 5 or higher illusion and spellcaster monsters you control with card effects this turn. This card's also an illusion. It's a level 4. This card kind of seems nice. Especially when we see a new Illusion Floodgate coming out. This actually has some potential, I think, for modern Yu-Gi-Oh! And then, if this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. I wonder when that would come up. But yeah, the second effect's, it basically can't attack over it, so that's relevant. And then, I wonder if you increase this level, if it wouldn't be able to be targeted, because it is an illusion. So that would be cool if you could just increase its level somehow. Now you can't even target this, and it can't be destroyed by battle. That seems crazy. Okay, and then we have Millennium Fiend Reflection. So these cards are kind of good, especially being the Illusion archetype. We already saw that they got a level 6 special summon Searcher. So kind of just like the new Dark Magician era. We'll go over a new Dark Magician as well soon. Millennium Fiend Reflection. So if this card is in your hand, same effect, you can place it in the spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. If your opponent activates a card or effect, while this card is a continuous spell, so just like the last one we went over, Millennium Moon, you can special summon this card, then you gain life points equal to half the attack of one monster on the field. So pretty like mediocre effect. If this card battles a monster, neither can be destroyed by battle. So compared to the other one, this one's definitely way worse, I would say. The other one has an effect. And then we've gotten to the Millennium Cross. This card looks crazy. I'm surprised that, I wonder, since we've seen like Monster Reborn get redone with the artwork because of the cross, I wonder if this will actually get revamped as well. Take 5 Forbidden 1 monster cards from your hand, deck, and or face-up field and reveal them. Then special summon 1 The Phantom God Exodia Incarnate from your extra deck, then shuffle all face-up monsters you control into the deck, except Exodia monster cards whose original level is 10 or higher, and Millennium monster cards. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn, but you can normal set, so they have that. At least now we finally get like problem solving card text, so you can still set even when it says you can't summon. After activation, shuffle this card into the deck instead of sending it to the graveyard. It's kind of crazy, it shuffles in the deck as well. I'm guessing because there's other level 10 Exodia type monsters, that's why it says that. Like I don't know if Dark Necros, I think it's treated as Exodia, so that's pretty interesting. Card seems, I mean, you'd obviously have to be playing 5 Forbidden 1 cards in your deck, which seems wild, but this card is pretty cool. I like the artwork a lot too. And then Temple of the Stone Slabs. During your main phase, you can place 1 monster from your hand face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. Then you can place 1 Millennium monster or 1 Sen Gen from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. So that seems pretty good. You can place 1 monster. Okay, from your hand. This is an interesting card. I guess you could get multiples out that way too. If a face-up Millennium monster and or Sen Gen you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can place it face up in your spell trap zone as a continuous spell instead of sending it to the graveyard. It's like the new era of Crystal Beast. They're just turning these cards into Crystal Beasts. Like, it's kind of crazy that they've really embraced the mechanic of making monsters continuous spells. Like, I wonder what's up with that, right? Like, we see Populous and then these cards. Like, did they get a new, like, department? Like, what's going on? Why does everything want to be a continuous spell? Exodo Blaze. Exodo Blaze. 1 level 10 or higher monster you control with Exodia in its original name gains these effects. Ooh, that's pretty cool. You can pay half your life points. You cannot activate other cards or effects for the rest of the turn. Also destroy as many cards in the spell and trap zone as possible. Then equip 2 Forbidden 1 monsters from your hand or deck to this card as equip spells that give it 2000 attack. Wow, you could really make him high attack. This card attacks a defense position monster and inflicts piercing damage. Not the best card. Raging Hellfire Exodo Flame. If you control a level 10 or higher Exodia monster, destroy all cards your opponent controls. Oh, that's pretty nice. If this card is in your graveyard, except during the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and activate one of these effects. Add 1 Forbidden monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Shuffle up to 5 Forbidden monsters from your graveyard and or banishment into the deck. Oh yeah, they like that word now, banishment. Let's go. So that's all the new cards for the Exodia. Now let's go on to the Dark Magician cards that got released or announced. Dark Magician, the Ebon Sorcerer. And someone said, like, they finally said Dark Magician, the Dark Magician. If Golden Sarcophagus of Light is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. This card's name becomes Dark Magician while in the monster zone. If this card is destroyed by a card effect and a level 5 or higher monster is on the field, you can special summon this card, then you can set 1 spell trap directly from your deck that mentions Dark Magician. It's a pretty sweet second or third effect, honestly. I think that's really good. I think it would be way better if it was an illusion monster, but it is spellcaster still, so they're keeping that. I love the artwork on this card is just insane. Like, Dark Magician gets all the bitches, bro. I swear. Dark Magic Mirror Force. Ooh, let's go. We get a new Mirror Force. It's been a minute, alright? When an opponent's monster declares an attack or an opponent's monster's effect is activated that would destroy a monster on the field and a monster that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light is on the field, the next time each monster you control that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light would be destroyed by battle or card effects this turn, it is not destroyed. Also destroy all opponent's attack position monsters, then if you control Dark Magician, inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed by this effect. And not the best card, probably one of the most wordy Mirror Forces ever, but definitely cool. And then we have Gold Sarcophagus of Light, so this is what everything mentions. This artwork is insane. All the artwork on these cards is just like crazy. One thing I was thinking is like, especially after they released the like anime style videos for all the like lore and archetypes, I wish they would just do that instead. Like, you know how League of Legends did their show? If you would just do it as like the actual cards have their own story rather than like, you know, the staple Yu-Gi-Oh dueling. I think that's gotten a little overplayed. And then let's get into the effect. So cannot be destroyed by monster effects. During your main phase, you can add one card from your deck to your hand that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, except Gold Sarcophagus of Light. Makes sense, not Toon World. If your opponent special summons a monster from the graveyard, you can discard one spell, then target one of those monsters, send it to the graveyard. It's weird, discard one spell. Basically just puts the monster back, but they would get their effects, you know, for the sent to the graveyard effects. Gios Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction. Level 8 Dark Dragon effect. If you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, you can special summon this card from your hand, gains 300 attack for each banished card. You can pay half your life points, destroy as many other cards on the field as possible, and if you do banish them, then special summon one level 7 or lower monster from your deck that mentions Gold Sarcophagus of Light, and if you do, increase its level by the number of cards destroyed by this effect. It's kind of like a Dark Arm Dragon type, like, revamp, right? Do banish. And then it can special the Dark Magician, which is kind of cool. I don't know if the level thing would matter. That's what I'm curious of. Silent Magician 0, so maybe it will matter. It's a Spellcaster level 4. Definitely remember, is this like the Sword Knight? Kind of looks similar. If your opponent draws a card, increase this card's level by the number drawn. So this is a level card. While this card's current level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference. So this is probably what you want special. When your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control Gold Sarcophagus of Light, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, increase this card's level by 1. So this is pretty good. You know, negate a spell. That's kind of insane. Artwork also just going crazy. I wonder who that is in the background. And then, wait. Yeah, this has to just be another card, because I recognize this. Silent Swordsman 0. That's what I was thinking of, Silent Swordsman. Literally those cards. You can only use the third effect once per turn. Once per turn during each standby phase, increase this card's level by 1. While this card's current level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference, so same thing. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Gold Sarcophagus of Light and or a monster that mentions it, you control, quick effect, negate the activation, and increase this card's level by 1. That's pretty sweet. And that's pretty much all the cards, so I hope you enjoyed the quick little rundown on these new revamped cards. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did, and peace!